All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NBA show. It is Friday, March 3rd here, and I'm currently joined with my boy Swaggy. We had a couple of games on last night, and yeah, Fridays are my producing days, so we'll see how the show ends. Ciro currently isn't here, and our boy Luke currently isn't here, but Swaggy is here. So Swaggy, how are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on, man? So I decided to join up and trying to get my knowledge back up in the NBA. So yeah, just happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. You guys can go check out Swaggy on
Yeah.
on YouTube. So yeah, Swaggy, you watch any of these games last night?
So last night I did not because the night before, we had like every team that I covered played, like Memphis, New Orleans, and New York. So like yesterday I kind of just chilled, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, and also like KD made his debut
he
that night as
did.
well. There was just way too much going on the other night, but like yeah, last night, nah, I didn't really see any games. To be real.
I think there were like 10 games on Wednesday or something like that. I always complain about that on the show where it's like, dude, when there's 10 games on and there's 20 teams playing, and it's on
Yeah.
from here 7 to 1 a.m. It's just tough. There he is.
Oh shit, wrong.
Ciro's struggling. He's currently in the he's currently in the show.
Oh,
All right, let me
okay.
pull up a picture then. So
I can hear you. I have my AirPods in and they just won't fucking connect.
yeah, I can hear you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm on the highway driving because they called me in early. I'm so goddamn pissed to go report on a story. It's because some guy won $1 million at a casino on a poker game.
Damn,
So I'm
that's
driving.
legit.
So I'm driving to the station to pick up my camera gear, and then I got to go drive to a Native American reservation.
Damn, nice. You don't have like class and shit?
No, it's Friday. I've never had class on Friday in college.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've never ever had class on a Friday. Free beer at 2 p.m., bro. Why would I have class on
What do you
Friday?
mean? At your fraternity?
No, at one of the bars, they would switch out. So before the weekend starts on Fridays at 2 p.m., they give out free beer to empty their kegs so they can put fresh kegs in for the weekend.
Oh, that's sick.
So if you show up at 2 p.m., you can get as much beer as you want for free until the kegs are dry.
Are you doing that today?
No, I fucking work. I work on Fridays now, but I did that for 3 years. Almost 4 years.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gig.
But, I mean, the beer's kind of shit. Like, it's hit or miss. Some of the beer would be like, you get a good keg. Some of the beer, you get like a bad keg, and you're like, yeah. But you'd hope you get the bad keg like after a few pitchers.
Thomas is telling you to watch the road. What's up, Thomas?
Oh, me?
Dude.
I was gonna try to argue that. No, I got great vision. I got great vision right now.
There's not too many people live in Kansas, Thomas.
No, honestly not. One thing I'll miss is the traffic, like the lack of traffic here. But
Yeah, I'm
Swaggy,
sure.
how are you doing, buddy?
This is so weird. I'm good though, man. I was just looking at the games and dude, my guy Jakob Hurdle for fantasy, dude's a stud.
Dude, we'll have to talk fantasy later on.
Yeah, I just didn't get into fantasy this year.
Yeah, I'm banning you. Well, actually, you're my boy, so it's not a permanent ban. But I'm not pleased with your lack of dedication to the league this year. Swaggy, what's annoying is Swaggy won my baseball league this year. He won my football league, and he's on pace to win our basketball league.
Baseball is fucking insane. The fact that you guys do a baseball league is ridiculous.
I love fantasy baseball.
I set my lineup every day.
Yeah, it's
all
actually so
160
That's
fun,
fucking
dude.
like 1,000 games you have to worry about.
No, it's literally so fun. I loved it. Swaggy's not joining my fantasy baseball league this year or it's not even mine.
Yeah,
So
well,
I
for
don't even
starters, I lost
matter.
LaMelo, so am I gonna win basketball? I don't think so, because
Dude, I think you'll be fine. We'll talk. I'm trying to go long today for our viewers, so we'll talk.
All
yesterday
right.
you guys hit like every category I know, so that wasn't ideal that I missed it.
We did
Holy
talk.
shit. I think there's a
We did.
fire.
I know
Time out.
LaMelo because I had.
How do I flip my camera? Do you guys see this?
Is that a controlled
Highway
burn?
mid-show, dude, is insane.
Oh, it's just some factory. Never mind. It looks wild. All right, let's get into the NBA.
Okay. I don't know how you're doing this. We have the Washington Wizards on the screen right now because they got a win against the Toronto Raptors, and it was extremely critical. And as a
2-game
Raptors
win
supporter,
streak.
I'm pissed. This sucked, dude. It absolutely sucked. Nick Nurse got outcoached. Their players got outplayed. Kyle Kuzma continued to do Kyle Kuzma things. Bradley Beal even struggled, and it didn't even matter. Like, yeah, man, Washington surgeon, and it sucks because I'm a big Rat fan, and they really needed it. And now, good on Washington though, Sir. I'm happy for you because this is it's cool to see the way they started the season versus now.
Dude, OG had 26.
Yeah, back-to-back good games, I believe, right?
So basically, what I've seen right here is last night the game. First off, Kristaps Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma. It's the Wizards are the definition of a bipolar team because we're the 10th seed now, and I'm pretty confident we'll make the play-in. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, Chicago, they're just self-imploding, and I know they got the dub the other day, but I just don't see the Bulls being able to pass. I just think personally with the Wizards, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Bradley Beal, either if you love them or hate them, regardless, those guys are, two of them are at least all-stars right there. Kyle Kuzma, one could argue, is a borderline all-star player. I just think they show that they're a few pieces away from being like, I'm not going to say a contender, but like just like an actual playoff team that isn't going to be a perennial 8th seed or like play-in team. Like if they had another couple guys, like they could be like they have a decent core. I just the roster construction's wonky, but there's some games where like Gafford, Porzingis, we got like Beal there, Kespert, Avdia, like that's decent. But then the rest of the roster, we have like a point guard by committee.
Yeah, well, Monty Morris, that's what I was about to bring up. I mean, first off, also Daniel Gafford's been doing great in the last couple of games, but DeLon Wright is so nice for this team. Monty's been out for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Last night, 7.6 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals. Like, DeLon Wright is the perfect point guard to start, and I hope he starts for the rest of the season. So, thanks for coming in, Thomas.
I don't know. All right, like if he starts, he's got like he's more of a tone setter, and then you bring in someone to score off the bench.
Yeah,
like,
Monty
in
Morris.
this case, it'd be Monty Morris or Kendrick Nunn in the
It's
until
perfect.
Monty Morris. No, I agree. The logic is sound. I think DeLon Wright's on a one-year deal, and I already know DeLon Wright, some contender who saw what Javon Carter's done for the Milwaukee Bucks is just gonna pick up the DeLon Wrights, and like I could see like the Mavs or something picking up DeLon Wright because that's the type of like guard you have off the like championship teams would want to have off the bench. But Swaggy, what are your thoughts? Do you think the Wizards will make the play-in or miss it?
The thing with the Wizards is one half or one game they'll look legit, and then the next they'll just look like trash. Like KP last night at 25 and Kuz at 30. So like Beal finally has that help, but there's just no consistency on this team. And I've seen them play a few times against the Knicks, and I mean they've got talent, no doubt about it. But is this a playoff team? Nah, man, I'm sorry. Like they'd be a quick exit if they even made it. So like I don't think they will personally, but.
By that you're talking top 6 seed.
Whatever seed they have. I mean, look at the top teams in the East. Like, it's the best
Oh
teams
yeah,
in the
yeah.
league.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
someone have to get hurt for them to miss the play-in though. Like I'm really like I think they're like I can't see the Bulls unless Pat Bev like touches God and shares the touch of God with the rest of the Bulls and they figure out how to like consistently play. I think they're a game and a half in front of the Bulls right now. They're tied with the Raptors in terms of how many games back they are, and they're only I think less than 3 games back from being the 8th seed or the 7th seed, something like that. So like I really just think they'll be a play-in team, but like you said, they're either going to lose in the play-in or if they do make it to the first round, it's going to be like the year with Russell Westbrook where we make it to the first round of the playoffs and we're just swept by like the Sixers.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you want to get to I mean, Brooklyn's a really interesting case because they suck. So that 6 seed's up for grabs, but no one's willing to take it because the Heat are struggling. The Hawks are a little bit of just 500. So if you're the Wizards, now you're tied with Toronto, but Toronto's got the tiebreaker. So you want to get into 7, 8 at worst. I mean, they could possibly sneak into 6, but I think I talked about this a couple of days ago. The Wizards, in an ideal world for the Wizards, you get to the 7th or 8th spot, and Brooklyn maintains 7 or 8, and you take down Brooklyn obviously like you want to get the 6th seed, but the Wizards I think will have a 7-game series in the playoffs, and if they could get to 3 and you're playing Philadelphia, I don't see it happening, but it is certainly better than Boston or Milwaukee. So
I could see it happening personally. They get Philly.
I would think the same, but then Toronto last year, I thought Toronto was going to win that series, and they didn't. It could have gone differently at the end, but they didn't. They took them like 2 games to figure it out fully.
It's just like Embiid's durability and James Harden on a team. You just never know in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to pivot the discussion, but you brought up something that I thought was a point of discussion, which is the Nets. Kevin Durant and Kyrie left them with a pretty cushy, amount of win totals, and they have not played spectacular. But the roster isn't like a bunch of bums. Like their roster are a bunch of starting level players, like even on the bench. And it's more of sense of the team looks like not like a bad team, but a team that like has never played with each other before. It looks like a bunch of guys, still getting their first couple games in at like the rec, running like through a tournament. But that's my thought. How far will the Nets fall? And will the Nets be a playoff or a play-in team?
Dude, the Nets will be a play-in team. I get what you're saying. They're starting caliber players, and they haven't played at all. So I think even if you had this roster at the beginning of the season, they're still at best a play-in team. I mean, Mikal Bridges is nice, but he's not a number 1 franchise guy. I mean, he just isn't. So look at Dorian Finney-Smith. Ever since he's gotten to Brooklyn, it's been miserable. He's sucked. Like, it's not like DFS is bad or Royce O'Neal is bad. They don't have their best players are Mikal Bridges and Nick Claxton. It's just not good enough. So, especially considering it's like a whole new roster, it feels like. I mean, Brooklyn's got to make some. They got to figure it out in the offseason. Joe Tsai's got to figure this one out. Sean Marks got to figure this one out because they're both going to be on the hot seat. They already are. You had 3 Hall of Famers, and you have no rings, and in 1 year they're all gone. So Brooklyn is no threat, as I'm sure Swaggy knows from the other night, which is on the screen.
Like 47 in the first quarter.
Like it wasn't even close at any point.
Dude, I love Brooklyn's coach.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love the culture of the Nets. The coach, Vaughn, right? Jock Vaughn. That's right. Yeah, Jock Vaughn.
Jayhawk.
These guys play hard, man. They've got a lot of talent over there. Ben Simmons, I don't know what's going on with him. It's sad. I think it's all mental. It's in his head because this dude should be a star in the league with what he can do at 6'10". But outside of that, I mean, I'm not going to say they have bad players. Like, there's some guys that I'd kill to have on that team, like Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas. Like, that's I'm trying to make sure I get the names right. The guy that came over from Phoenix, right? Like the shooter.
Cam Johnson, yeah, Cameron Johnson from North Carolina. He played, and he was like a bit old. He was like 21 or 22 when they drafted him. He's like 26 in his fourth season, about to be a restricted free agent.
And then they've got the young guys, Cam Thomas, and
they're
good. I mean,
they don't equate to winning basketball. They're just not. Cam Thomas, especially, he's just so young. He's so raw. He's a great scorer, but that's why he's coming off the bench still. And Spencer Dinwiddie's your point guard. There's no shot creation on this team, but it is cool to see guys like Cam, both Cams, Mikal Bridges, kind of have free reign to finish out the season, and they'll have a better idea of what they have. But yeah, the Nets that season's over.
I liked what Swaggy said. Like, I agree. I like the culture. Jock Vaughn. The thing is all you can talk shit about this Nets team, but the one thing that this Nets team does do good, even if the score doesn't show it, play hard defense. Like,
dude, their defense sucks.
Like, huh?
Their defense sucks.
No, but like they try. Like when they sometimes in the first half they'll hold it, and then like a lot of times they just collapse in the second half. But like they and it's really also I don't think they have enough ball handlers.
There's
on
nothing.
This team.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have Mikal, you said it right. I think Mikal Bridges on a mediocre playoff team, he's a number 2, but on a championship team, he's a 3 or a 4 option. And he's nice and all, but yeah, they don't have a dog. They don't have that guy. Like Cam Thomas is arguably their best shot creator. Like pure score.
Yeah. They don't have sorry.
No, go. That's
a good point. I think to summarize what Brooklyn has right now is that there's a bunch of talent, but they don't have a setup guy anymore. I mean, you could argue they didn't really even have a setup guy, but like when you have KD and Kyrie out there, everyone else can just be a complementary piece. Like if they had a Chris Paul guy. Yeah, if they had a Chris Paul, it would be different. Mikal's shown flashes of being a takeover guy, but like on defense, that's a huge reason why they're not going to. I mean, they gave up 131 to my Bulls. It was our best win of the season. 129 to Atlanta, 118 to Milwaukee, and 142 to New York. So I don't think their defense is going to hold up with their lack of creation to. I mean, they have a little bit of a lead. I don't think they could falter outside of the plane because they have a 5.5 lead over Chicago, and we're not good. So it is going to be interesting. Maybe they start clicking towards the end of the year and they can possibly just get out of the plane, but they'd be an easy 4-game sweep. They're an easy 4-game sweep for Boston with with KD out there. So I don't know. Not a great end to the Brooklyn Nets season. They were my championship pick.
Yeah, I had them at one point going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
All right, give me 5 minutes. I got to go pack my bag. I'm here at the station. I just got to grab my camera, and then I'm going to hop in a news car and call you guys back and hop back on the show when I'm in the news car. So give me
For sure. All right, we'll do a little what's up, Matt? How you doing, Matt? Nice to see you. Appreciate you pulling up. Everyone hit that like button, hit that sub button. Swaggy and I, we're going to go a little bit late today. I think in the second hour, we're going to talk all the Swaggy's teams. I'm just trying to get these recaps out of the way. I did want to talk a little bit about that Dubs game. I don't want Cyro to miss this stuff, but it's whatever. The Golden State Warriors have won 4 straight games, Swaggy, and they're rising, man. They're 5th in the West now, and the Clippers, on the contrary, they have not won a single game since Russell Westbrook has come over. Now, there's flaws with both of these teams. Like Golden State at home is one of the best teams in the NBA. They third quarter Warriors last night, 42-16 outscored Los Angeles, but I don't see and it's not like it's all Russell Westbrook's fault. He had a horrible game last night, and I don't know if you saw the clips on Twitter or you watched the game or the highlights or whatever, but they guard Russell Westbrook the way the Celtics would guard Russell Westbrook whenever the Lakers would play him. And you can try and claw in, stay in that basketball game, but when push comes to shove, it's not good. And it's not just Russ, because these Clippers, for some reason, now are horrible at defense. They're terrible on one-on-one. The rotations that Ty Lue is throwing out there is horrible. You have experience with Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon got the start last night. All Eric Gordon does at this point in his career, and I'm not trying to diss him here, but when he gets the ball, he takes a three. That's it. Sometimes he'll drive, he'll drive, but oh no, man, they finally, with Terrence Mann in the starting lineup, they finally started to catch their rhythm for the first time this season before the All-Star break. And for some reason, they took a huge risk, a huge gamble, bringing on Russell Westbrook. And I think if they want to save their season, because they're falling quickly, they want to save their season, they got to go back to their original starting roster of having Terrence Mann out there.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers, they've got Kawhi Leonard. I mean, any team that has him has a chance. But you also, today's basketball, you need multiple guys. You need Paul George is going to have to be there every night. Russell Westbrook. I mean, do you think that's really a risky pickup? I mean, it's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, the guy that, will give you his all every single game. He's played with PG.
Russell Westbrook in his last 14 games that he started is 0-14. He's lost the last 14 games he started. He doesn't equate to winning basketball. It's just a fact. And, last night, like, Golden State is actually, they are really coming along. But Los Angeles had, an 11-point lead going into halftime. And, Paul George was shitty last night. It's, I hate saying it. Robert Covington needs to play way more, by the way, as well. But the Clippers, they're a team that always chokes. They just find ways to choke, and they're doing it right now, and I want things to change. But I'm telling you, man, Russell Westbrook has the ball at the top of the key. Whoever's guarding him goes all the way into the paint. They will let him shoot. And in a 7-game series, that is going to come back to bite you in the ass, because they will let Russell Westbrook beat you anytime he wants. And a 7-game series, that simply doesn't fly.
Why doesn't Russ just take a mid-range?
He doesn't have it anymore.
Damn, I remember in Houston, that guy couldn't miss down there.
When he came into the league, he couldn't miss.
Yeah.
He was a bucket. That was his best in OKC when he won that MVP. He was a mid-range sniper. You could not beat Russell Westbrook in the mid-range. You couldn't guard him. He can get separation. And like I said, I'm not trying to blame Russ for all these issues, because they stem way deeper than that. But it's just lack of rhythm. And maybe by the time the end of the season came, if they started the season with this roster, they would have figured it out. But even without Russ, it took them half a season to figure it out. And they start to figure it out with Terrence Mann in that starting lineup. And Robert Covington, I don't know why he isn't playing, but it's just, there's so much talent on this team. There's so much. And the thing is, with when he was on the Lakers, it was, the Lakers don't have 3-point shooting. So it'll be different when he gets to Los Angeles, because they have 3-point shooting. Well, that hasn't been the case. They're 0-4. So
yeah, do they have 3-point shooting?
Well, you got to look at, now they have Eric Gordon, right? Kawhi can make threes. Paul George can make threes. Terrence Mann can make threes. Norman Powell, Batum, Bones Highland, Robert Covington. They can make threes. They have a lot more shooters than the Lakers. How's that? 3-point percentage, they're ranked 6th. 3 points made, they're ranked 9th. So they're in the top. And last night, no Steph Curry, no Andrew Wiggins. I know Golden State is playing good. They've won 4 straight games, but I'm not saying the season was on the line, because it wasn't, but that was a must-win game for the Clippers. And it was miserable, man. They scored 92 points, 91 points. You're not winning anything.
They're the 6th seed, right? Or what seed are they?
Now they've fallen to the 6th seed. They were the 4th seed not too long ago. They're actually now the 7th seed because of the Mavericks win last night. So they're in the play-in. currently.
That should not happen.
Yeah.
You're Tyler.
And they'll still be, rust or no rust, they'll still be, if you're in the play-in and you get out of the play-in tournament, and even if you have to go up against a Denver or even Memphis, Sacramento, like the Clippers aren't a team you want to play. I've seen a lot of Kings fans say, like, the Clippers, I did not want to play the Clippers at all, but now that's kind of changing. So
Yeah, I mean, they just beat a healthy Clippers team not too long ago in a double overtime.
exactly.
Kings.
And I think they beat them the game before that too. Let me double check that. Oh no, that was
They play them soon here again. I know that.
yeah. Oh, that was OKC that I'm thinking of. Yeah, they play them tonight. Kings Clippers is tonight,
Oh, okay.
which is awesome. Yeah, when was it? Yeah, I thought the Kings were supposed to have a primetime game.
They do next week.
Oh, that's next week against the Knicks. I was thinking that was last night for some reason until it happened, and that wasn't the game. That's gonna be a great game. All right, I think we have pretty much one more recap, and so Dallas Mavericks. So they got a win last night against Philly. You know, Philly's credit, they're coming off of road back-to-back, and they had a 26-point lead, and they almost blew the 26-point lead. But thankfully, Luka and Kyrie, at the end of the game, they stepped up. And it was like a 4-5. I think it was a 4-point game at some point with several minutes to go. But yeah, Luka 42 points, 12 assists, 7 threes. Kyrie 40 points, 6 assists, 6 threes. They played very efficient basketball. They looked good, and you know, I'm still not sold on Dallas, but that was a very much a much needed win. I mean, now you're back in the 6th seed, and they match up currently against the Sacramento Kings. I'm a big Kings supporter, but you know, if Dallas goes in with a 7-game series, if they have a top 6 seed, it's the same thing with the Clippers. You even without Kyrie, you don't want to play the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. Ideally, I guess. Honestly, what the West is, you don't want to play any of these teams really, because every team's going to give you all they got. It's a loaded conference, but I don't really have actually too much to say about the Dallas Mavericks. But it was a much needed win last night, because I think they were 2-4 heading into that game against or with Kyrie. They just lost to the Pacers. Halliburton had a great game, and
yeah, Kyrie, I saw miss that game winner potentially.
Yeah. Mr. Cyro Asseo.
Can you hear me, pussies?
Yes.
That's yeah. My coworkers just found out about my YouTube channel.
Oh, really? They didn't know already?
I think the news station director, basically the head guy, like he knew about it. Like that's like part of the reason why he was interested. Plus like other things, like because.
Like your body.
I basically. One second. I hate new cars. 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in like a different car.
They should throw up this show on their news station. Right now.
Well, I'm wondering because everyone pulled up my YouTube channel on their computers.
I hope they're watching right now.
Yeah, dude, if they like just pulled up and they're like in the news station, because they checked out only my main channel, but like on my channel you can see like my other. And if they go to and I mentioned the live show,
yeah,
and I'm just laughing at the prospect of them potentially like just tuning in and just seeing me now driving and doing this show. I'm in a company car.
It's so bad.
We did have 14 viewers when he first popped in here, so maybe they're all.
Yeah, I'm the fucking charm, bitch.
So we were just talking Dallas, just talked Clippers, Warriors, talking a little Dallas right now because Kyrie, Luka combined for I think 82 points last night.
That's an NBA record, isn't it? 2 teammates. Oh, damn.
I mean, that's an interesting point you bring up, but I know LeBron and Kyrie.
2 teammates have had 40 plus?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Let's check Google. But yeah, they I think 2 teammates have had.
Harden and Russ might have done it, actually.
Yeah. At this point in 2023,
Durant and
that's
Russ
not.
had to
Oh
have.
yeah, this has happened. Let's see.
Who's the best? With that being said, do you think Kevin Durant and Devin Booker's a better duo than Kyrie and Luka, or Kyrie and Kevin
Oh
Durant?
yeah. It's not even close. Not even close.
Dude, that's insane though. 40 from 2 guys in a game on a team.
Yeah,
Like what?
Malik
it's-
Monk did that shit with De'Aaron Fox.
Oh yeah, Monk did have
Yeah,
a 40
it did
bomb
just happen.
against the Clippers.
Yeah, talk your shit.
Dude, that's just crazy.
KD had
though.
51. Russ had 40 in 2012.
Yo, whoever
Let's go.
drove this fucking car before me did not fill it with gas. I have the gas light on, and I'm like, I gotta
Oh,
be at
man.
a place at 9, and like
It's like siblings.
Yeah, I mean, the difference is you're getting paid. It's like they consistently bitch about people not filling gas in the car. I just don't want to, like, I just don't want to ever be the one who does it. So, like, I'm pretty, like, on point.
Is it comped?
Yeah, I have a gas card in here.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Are
fucking
you in a
pay for that
van?
shit. No, I'm in a Jeep Renegade.
Oh, I was gonna say like a news van, like Weasel News, GTA.
Yeah. The bigger networks do that, and they usually have those because, like, I don't even fucking know why, but like I'm pretty sure it's just because they carry more gear. Like, I got like shit in the back, in the trunk right there.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I got a tripod, camera, lav mic, wireless lav mic, wireless boom, wireless stick mic, or whatever you want to call it, and then a few other like lights and shit. And then I'm just in a thing, but I got like the cool thing about this is I got like the panels have like the news logo,
Cool.
and basically everyone told me in my training, they're like, I'm not telling you this, but they're like, cops don't really pull us over, so like they know we're like on the way to somewhere, like doing our job, so like I can kind of rip like 15-20 over, and like I just passed a state trooper doing like 70 and like a 50, like
What?
literally as I was saying that, nothing just happened.
You ever see that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's a reporter or something, or he's like an independent reporter, and they...
I know which one you're talking about. Is that the one, Nightcrawler?
Is it Nightcrawler?
He's
Yeah, that
killing
might be
people?
Nightcrawler. That's what that reminded me of right there.
Where he's the picture guy.
Yeah.
And he starts setting up the pictures.
Yeah. And
Or
he's
not
like,
setting up, like being like too close to the crime.
oh, he gets into the crime scene and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I've seen it completely because it wasn't my jam. But let's get back to basketball. What else did you have on tap?
How about we just talk basketball? Well, you wanted to talk Goran Dragic as if the 6.2 assists was the lead headline. I kiboshed that. But Goran Dragic to the Milwaukee Bucks would be nice.
That's what they're saying. He has emerged. They wanted to sign him before he went to the Brooklyn Nets last year. And honestly, he hasn't been terrible. I mean, Goran Dragic has been and never will be a good defender, and he's just gotten worse as he's gotten older. But what he offers you is still competent three-point shooting at the guard position, and he's your third point guard. This team traded away George Hill and the deals that they made, and they don't have a backup guard. So basically, now, God damn it, I do this every fucking time. I always think the gas tank is on the same side as my car, and it's not. So now I have to fucking look like a fucking moron and like flip my car.
You should go get a ready and stream it.
No, but I think, look, Goran Dragic, 35.2% from 3, 6 points a night, still like I think like 4 assists. He comes in, he can still. This team also, the Milwaukee Bucks, are 19th in half-court points per play, which is pretty terrible. So he's a really good pick and roller still. He's going to be a guy who's going to be able to hit the three-point shot at above average three-point rate in the NBA. And you know what? Really, it's just if it's insurance just in case if Drew Holiday or Javon Carter were to get hurt, you have a guy in Goran Dragic who can still competently run an offense, in my opinion.
Yeah, he'll give you. I remember last year with Brooklyn, he played like 20 minutes, 10 points in the playoffs. So, uh, who wouldn't take that? And you're right. He's just good. And the pick and roll, glad you brought that up. Get some pick and roll going with Bobby Portis off of that bench. And it would just, it would further bolster their already championship roster.
Swaggy
And he's leaving. He's on the Bulls, right?
Yeah, I think we
got bought out.
officially bought him out. Yeah.
I don't know, because from my team's perspective, like he wouldn't play for us, so it's hard for me to like put myself in the shoes of the Bucks who could use him. I'd rather him not, because the Bucks are a team that I see the Knicks having to play eventually, so I prefer him not to go there. But at the same time, whenever he's in, whoever's offense on Goran Dragic, that's
there
who we're
you go.
attacking. We're attacking him every single time he's on the court. So
IQ will like that matchup.
But I could see him coming in at blowouts with Wes Matthews. And,
Wes
if you just put a whole... blowouts.
Yeah. It was a decent move. I would love if he went to Milwaukee over Dallas. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if he went to Dallas because they need him. But I'm Team Bucks this Eastern Conference. Well, I'm Team Knicks, but like if we're being real, as far as championships go,
Bucks don't want to see Jalen Brunson. Tell you that.
I don't think Drew Holiday is all that worried about
He
that
should
one.
be.
Yeah. Swaggy Drew Holiday was an all-star and Jalen Brunson wasn't. So
You know what feels crazy about
Holiday's
this
incredible.
season? Is that the I don't know if you guys, I'm starting to get the vibes again when the Bucks did when they won the championship a few years back.
yeah, dude.
Dude, I wore a Buck shirt to a bar and everyone was like dapping me up and they were like, "Congrats, man!" I was like, "Thank you." I just pretended to be a Bucks fan. Dude, I'm sorry I had to bring that up. But the year they won the championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude, they're definitely the best team in the league, though, right?
I would say so.
Who,
It's
the
going to be
Bucks?
contingent on Chris Middleton being healthy.
Yeah, I mean, but they might really...
Fun fact, who has the most wins in the NBA right now?
It's probably the Bucks.
It's the Bucks.
Yeah,
It's the Bucks.
And that's not...
barely, right, over Boston.
Boston and Denver, yeah. Both have 44. The Bucks have won 15 straight, so they're currently the best team in the league.
Dude, I'm just thinking of when Giannis came into the league. He was what, 18 years old? I mean,
he was young.
Dude, the craziest transformation I've ever seen in my life. Just where he started to where he is now. Best player in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah, I guess Giannis would be the best player. I'm just trying to think of anyone else you could put in an argument. Like, obviously LeBron's up there, but, like, LeBron's his own case, and, like, that's not even... Is it... Yeah, no. Who... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, it would be Jokic, Embiid. Right now, Damian Lillard is certainly...
But no, my whole thing against Jokic is like... Jokic, I love Jokic. I love Jokic. He is the MVP. But when I say the best player, I mean like I think 1v1. Who would win 1v1? Kind of like, or like in the sense that like Giannis arguably is the most complete player in the NBA. That's how I should rephrase it. He plays defense.
But yeah.
Yeah, he can't hit threes, but he's not like not hitting threes. Like he shoots threes at least.
He does shoot. He does shoot and try to make those threes. That's for damn sure. Not at a good clip.
I think the other thing is like I don't know. I think it's I don't know. Kevin Durant was on a pretty insane tear. Even he was playing good defense at points with Nick Claxton. Even the other night in his debut, there were some decent defense moments. I think Kevin Durant. I don't know. Well, you have anything else on the schedule?
Oh, there's the ready. The Spurs. Jeremy Sohan.
Oh, right, Jeremy Sohan.
Oh my God.
What do you think of Jeremy Sohan?
He's the next Dennis Rodman. Okay.
I mean,
Devontae with 8.
Jeremy Sohan, I think Dennis Rodman, I guess I was going to say, like, he's just if Draymond Green was, like, more coordinated looking, like if he didn't shoot like he was shooting with a backpack on all the time, and, like, was more of a fluid athlete, I think that's Jeremy Sohan. Like, Jeremy Sohan's, like, could be a way more, like, maybe not as good as a passer as Draymond, but, like, a better scoring and rebounding and, like, having a similar defensive impact if everything goes right as Draymond.
So Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman was, like, abysmal on offense, like non-factor almost.
Wow.
Like, all putbacks.
Wow.
Dennis just didn't care to score. He just only scored what given the opportunity or told.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman was the team player.
Yeah. So yeah, Sohan's got. All right. He's a blend of Dre and Rodman.
Malachi Bronnan's looking nice for them.
Yeah.
I think Trey Jones is underrated.
Yeah.
They got all these underrated guys on this roster. I personally think the Spurs, like, if they got themselves Victor Wembanyama, they would look like, at the very least, the Orlando Magic next year, where you'd be like, oh, shit, this team's a year away from being in the playoffs, or you'd be like, holy shit, they could maybe make a late push.
Yeah, they need Keldon to cement himself as a franchise player. I don't think
he is, but he's a McHale.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if this team's really good, you need Keldon Johnson's the perfect third or fourth option.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Devin Vassell. He's back now. 20-point per game scorer this year.
I think Devin Vassell could be better than Keldon Johnson. Devin Vassell's wild. What are your thoughts on the Spurs, Swaggy?
So I'm just trying to think. Do you think Becky Hammond could become the head coach? Or do you think that's not?
That was Quinn Snyder. So the original rumor I heard was partially the reason he had left the Jazz was we all know within the next 5 years, Greg Popovich will retire. Will Hardy, Quinn Snyder, probably Ime Udoka's not in line because the Spurs are very progressive as a franchise. There's people that we're aware that are going to be successors. Obviously, we're aware Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammond was the first female assistant hired by the Spurs under Greg Popovich. I think she interim coached the few games. Don't put me on record for that one, or don't quote me on that because I don't know fully if she did, but I'm pretty sure she did. And Adam Silver said within 5 years he wants to see the first female head coach. I don't know. I don't know because I know there's people out there who are going to be Pop's successor, and it's going to be somebody young, I feel like. I don't know. It's going to be someone young and unexpected because I don't know. And also, I think Pop is going to leave when this team is in a good position, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like a year or two after Vic gets there.
I'm, like, fully convinced Victor Wembanyama is going to the San Antonio Spurs.
And I'm fully convinced he's going to the Houston Rockets. There was a former NBA player who was just talking about this. I can't think of who it was. He's like, listen, Detroit, Charlotte, San Antonio, you guys can fuck off. He's going to Houston. Like if it's real,
He's not
going
going.
to Houston. He's going
Houston
to
would be Houston would be the worst place for him to go.
Why? James Harden and Victor Wembanyama?
I mean, that'd be insane. But also, we've talked about. I just think like if Steven Silas is still there,
He won't be. There's no way. There's no way. This guy's win percentage is like 24%.
I actually like Silas now. The other day, someone asked him why Alfred Şengün got benched, and what did he respond? Who were they playing that had 40 against them the other night? They got destroyed.
You're talking about Dame 71?
Portland?
Yes, Dame. It was halftime. They're like, why'd you bench Şengün at halftime? He goes, motherfucking Dame had 40 and a half, was his response to the reporter. Like, he literally deadpan looked at the guy, no hesitation. Motherfucker Dame had 40 at half.
There's no way he said that word.
Huh?
Steven Silas does not say the word motherfucking. He might, actually. Is that a real quote?
I'm like that. They quoted it on the Athletic.
I'm gonna Google
Yeah.
it.
Well, no, he said that they attacked him every single time in the pick and roll.
They did. That's what happens anytime the Portland Trailblazers play. Is it's heavy, very heavy pick and roll. And Şengün, I love Şengün. He obviously has a ton of defensive deficiencies, though. So, I know a lot of Rocket insiders right now are talking about him possibly getting moved one day.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, but honestly, where do you guys think is the best fit for Victor Wembanyama? Like, I know you say Houston Rockets, Swaggy. We got the Pistons, the Rockets, the Spurs, the Hornets as the teams most likely to be in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. If you had to choose, which one do you think would be the best? I just think it's the Spurs, because they're the only team that isn't I think it's the Spurs or the Hornets because the NBA doesn't give it to tanking teams, and they also love to give it to a team that needs a boost. And I feel the Hornets have LaMelo, so I really think it's the Spurs, and plus the Spurs are the most international team.
The Rockets need a boost. We had the worst record in the last 3 years of NBA history.
I know, but if you go overseas, maybe now Steph Curry's probably one of the more popular jerseys, but 10 years ago, if you went overseas to any country, you would either see a Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, or Tim Duncan jersey, wherever you went, any country.
And then in number 2, you'd have a James Harden jersey.
Probably LeBron.
Yeah, probably LeBron. Yeah.
Kobe.
What are your thoughts, Swaggy? Who would you choose the best fit for, or best place you would want to see Vic?
So what seed are the Lakers right now?
They can't get Vic.
They can't get him
the Pelicans, though. I'm talking about.
I think they're still 13. Let's see.
Yeah, so the Pelicans.
11.
Oh wait,
they're 11. They're out of that.
Yeah. Top the bottom 5 teams out of the bottom 5 teams in the league.
The Charlotte Hornets could use him. I mean, LaMelo Ball, I think, is a future superstar. Right now, you can't call him that, but I think LaMelo has so much potential. I like watching him play. He's a guy that makes me want to turn on basketball, the way he plays the game. But they have no one around him, so I mean, imagine LaMelo and Victor Wembanyama though, every single night, selling out. Imagine selling out a Hornets game. That'd be a special thing. So yeah, the Hornets for sure.
Yeah, I've thought about the Hornets a lot. I agree with you. It would be insane. The one thing that's gotten me out from the Hornets not getting it, because at one point I was like, oh my God, the Hornets are going to get the number 1 pick because LaMelo got hurt in the beginning of the season. I was thinking that, and then now it reinforced it. But Miles Bridges might get signed and brought back in March, allegedly, we're hearing. And what if Adam Silver's just petty and he just sticks it to Michael Jordan. He's like, "You brought him back when I said I didn't want him." It's just like, no Vic for you. I just think, like, I'm not saying the NBA rigs the lottery, but I think when there's a generational talent, Zion, Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, when franchises need players, they just happen to, or like the Cavs. Then they won like a top 3 pick like 4 years in a row when LeBron left the first time.
Kyrie Irving,
Dion Waiters, Tristan Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins.
Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, Tristan Thompson was.
What about Anthony Bennett was in there?
Oh yeah, they did draft Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett as well. They had 2 number 1 picks, Anthony Bennett and Andrew Wiggins. Tristan Thompson was third or fourth overall.
Fourth, yeah. Wow.
Same thing with Dion Waiters, back-to-back years. Because they went Kyrie, because the Clippers pick, then Dion Waiters, then Tristan Thompson. You remember when Tristan Thompson switched hands? He was originally, a left-handed shooter. Then he switched hands his third NBA season to become a right-handed shooter.
It's just absurd.
Is that why he's out of the league?
No, I think he's
also
out of the
old.
league because he's not even that old. He's like 31 or 32. Tristan Thompson's out of the league because he just stopped playing defense. Tristan Thompson was arguably like a not as athletic, bigger version of. I mean, they're the same height, but like thicker version of Jared Vanderbilt and a more center version. He was a dominant offensive rebounder, but he was only 6'8", 6'9". All right. He could play defense. He wasn't an elite defender, but he tried his ass off. He was athletic enough to step out onto some forwards, and he had a little bit of passing ability. And he wasn't a terrible scorer. I mean, he could put backs and stuff. Never extended his range, but he just basically, like, after LeBron left and shit, he just stopped trying. Plus injuries, and he liked fucking the Kardashians.
He came into the league as a great statistical defender for several seasons.
You remember when Dion Waiters had the anxiety attack because of he ate too much, too many edibles?
Yeah. Been there before, Dion.
Was that on the team plane or no? Or like a plane or something?
Yeah, they were coming back from London, or they were going to London, and he had edibles on him, and he didn't want to go through like TSA or whatever with edibles, so he ate all of the edibles he had, and he got so high he had an anxiety attack while they were in the air, and I think they had to make a emergency landing.
That's sad, like, actually.
No, it is sad. It's actually like super sad.
Yeah.
Just don't eat as many edibles. That's on him.
Well, I mean, it means he was like a lightweight, because like, I'm just saying, like, if you freak on edibles, it just means you don't get high often.
I wonder how many he had, because I've taken whole freaking chocolate bars before.
Dude, if I've eaten too many edibles, I just fall asleep.
Yeah, you pass the fuck out.
Ow. Like literally, it's like taking too many Benadryls.
Yeah. Oh man, will you ever take too many NyQuils and you're like?
Yeah, and it's like literally.
It's horrible. I feel like you're on acid.
So, okay. I think I've been. What would you guys say right now is the MVP? Right? Is it still Jokic? Because it seems like it's Jokic, Giannis, and Joel Embiid.
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox is GOAT.
It's looking like it's gonna be Jokic. Voter fatigue, very real. If it wasn't him, it would probably be Giannis.
Hey, Swaggy, we talked about this yesterday, Jackson and I. What are your thoughts on Ja Morant? Because I was comparing how the Grizzly organization has handled, like, and I have nothing against Ja Morant, and I only hope the best for him. And the only reason I say this is when you have a star player, you hope as an organization they give him guidance. Like I think that the Timberwolves have done a really good job with any hiccups they've had with Anthony Edwards, like from him eating McDonald's to getting him a nutritionist and trying to teach him about having a healthy diet to when instead of like being like the Brooklyn Nets or another team when he did the whole queer thing, they instead of reprimanding him, they just had him issue an apology and like just like I think like they've done really good how they've handled stuff internally in house. While the Memphis Grizzlies, they just seem like they're just letting John Moran do what John maybe John's just ignoring them or whatever. But like I would just think like if I was an organization, I would just try to like teach the guy, teach it like and I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Again, I have nothing against John Moran. I just hope for the best. I just don't want him to get in trouble or anything.
Are you talking about the allegations?
Yeah, the allegations. But look how there's been like in the past like month, like 3 accusations or whatever. There was like the Red Dot site on the Indiana Pacers. Now the gun thing, and then there was one more incident that I can't remember.
We just pulled up on a 17-year-old was the last one.
Yeah, the 17-year-old, and then the Indiana Pacers. There's one more thing. I think he got in like I don't even know. I swear there's one more. But what are your thoughts on the accusations?
I'm gonna be honest. This is a bad answer, but I saw the things coming out, and it kind of just went over my head. I'm just trying to see Ja play basketball. I mean, he had the Grizzlies won their last 2 games. He had a 39-point triple double. He had 20 the other night. So I don't really focus on that stuff. I know who Ja is. I know the player that he can be, and he just wants to win. So I'm just trying to focus on the Grizzlies. Trying to get out of the past first couple of rounds because they lost to Utah and then they lost to the Warriors, and I don't really pay attention to like the drama and that stuff. Because I'm just kind of trying to cover the Grizzlies. So I don't know if that is a good answer or not, but it's kind of how I look at it.
I agree. And like this could all be nothing. This all could be nothing. Again, maybe this just be me being a journalist and just like always just trying to like look at the bigger picture, if that makes sense. Because like also the other thing is like I brought it up. Again, there's nothing wrong with drinking or smoking or anything. Like you have your fun and stuff. I just know like Ja likes the juice. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I'm a big fan of the NBA is a different league, and especially with the one and done rule potentially getting out. Like these are teenagers, like these kids. Ja Morant's like our age, maybe I think he might be younger than us. All right,
Younger.
with hundreds of millions of dollars in his pocket. And I'm just a big fan of getting these guys financial literacy, giving them people to mentor them, role models, just to teach them just how to to be a man and to just be a role model for people and again, like I know media is always just gonna be right back, like gonna be looking for shit to write home about. And like you said, I just want to see him play. And that's what I was trying to get. What I'm saying is like I just want hopefully the Grizzlies are doing everything they can to just make sure everything's all right, so nothing happens, legally or anything, so that we can continue to see Ja play.
Yeah, well, he just spent $30K in a grill, and he's showing it off. I mean, remember this guy wasn't even ranked coming out of high school.
Yeah.
So it's so corny, bro. That's why I try to stay off of social media because like, this kid who's 21, 22, like spending money, and people are going in the comment section and calling him a clown and hating on him. Like, come on, man. I mean, Ja Morant's one of the best players we have in this league, and his dad is at every single game sitting courtside. He's putting up numbers. As long as Ja is performing, who the hell cares? If he's having a drink on a plane or something, like getting drunk. I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Who cares what he does with his life? Again, like I just see it as a way, like I just don't want him to I just hope everything goes well. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I just don't want the guy to
Yeah. It's like obviously 23-year-old, like you're gonna booze, you're gonna smoke, you're gonna have a good time. And it was never really an issue. It's just more so the stuff in the last couple of months coming out with the Pacers player and pulling up on a 17-year-old. It's you don't want him to go down. Like you don't want it to go any further than it is right now, just in case, because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And you just exactly. And I'm just hoping they're giving him guidance and they're just not like. But either way, I gotta go interview. Cheers, boys. Thanks, Aggie, for coming on. Hopefully my audio wasn't shit.
So yeah, it was fine.
All right, peace.
Yep. Alrighty. We're in hour number 2, Swag.
Is that a show record?
No, I think on the trade deadline day we did like an hour and a half. We've only been out live for an hour. It's like a comic hour joke. The floor is yours, man. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, let's do it.
Because someone asked me to make a video on them, and I was like, all right, I'll do this, throw it up, get 100 views. And then all of a sudden, it's like 5,000 views, more likes than like all my other videos.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that the Kings don't get coverage. Like, that's crazy to me. They're one of the best teams in the league, and they're looking for content. They're the 3 seed in the West, and people aren't making videos on them.
I know.
That's crazy, bro.
And people are saying they could get up to 2. I think they're only 2 games back of Memphis right now, but they're beating some really good teams. Your videos are doing so well. If you guys are Kings fans or NBA fans, go check out Swaggy on YouTube and check out his Kings videos. I was thinking after I woke up and I saw your Kings video continue to pop off, I'm like, damn, I got to hop on another one as soon as this show is over.
Yeah, I mean, it's
great fan base, great teams. You remember Aaron in my NBA days?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, so he's a Kings fan, so that's why I remember buying a Sacramento Kings hat like in high school at Lids or something, and I've always just had a soft spot for him because Aaron was my boy, and it's so cool to see this trajectory they're on right now, because obviously it's not just this year. They're looking good, man. You got De'Aaron Fox looking like a rising superstar. Domantas Sabonis, I saw in your Kings video, he plays like a superstar a lot of nights. Keegan Murray's about to break the rookie 3-point record. Like, he's right there. Harrison Barnes was came out struggling this season, but he's really stepped up just like he always does. Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk were huge additions at the deadline. You have even more deeper guys, young cats like Davion Mitchell, but you also have your veterans more like Trey Lyles, Terrence Davis kind of in the middle of that. Matthew Dellavedova comes in sometimes and plays a little bit. So this Kings team they're very, very legit. How far do you think this team is going to go?
It just depends on matchup. I don't know if I could bet on any team beating them right now. And I seriously mean that. Like, their offense is the most efficient in NBA history. Defensively speaking, in the playoffs, you're going to go huge, shorter rotations, which means that their defense is going to only improve because they have their best guys out there more. They're one of the best fourth quarter defenses in the league. And as I mentioned earlier, they beat a healthy Clippers team not too long ago. So De'Aaron Fox, Mr. Clutch, he's the clutchest player in the league right now. And it's not even just offensive stats, like defensively too. He's over 25 a game. Sabonis is your second option, a guy that can put up a triple-double in a hurry. I mean, they've got shooters around. They've got the coach of the year in Mike Brown. I mean, the thing about the Kings that I love is they're not just celebrating being the 3 seed, celebrating finally having a good team. Like, they're thinking about a championship. They're always thinking about like the next step. That's why I kind of really resonate with them, because it's the same thing for the Knicks. Like, I'm not looking at the Knicks and being like, hey, we just need to make the playoffs. We need to make the first round. Like, nah, man, I'm trying to win a championship. I don't care about Giannis or I don't care about Embiid. Like, I know their teams are, obviously going to be favored over us, but it's like these two teams, like, we could be looking at like something crazy, bro. Kings and Knicks finals. Wow. People don't see it now, but I'm telling you, man, there's something special going on. There's something strange going on, I think is a way to phrase it better. But
yeah, Mike Brown had that to say yesterday. It was, Yeah, the playoff draw, I don't really care, man. We're here to win a championship. I don't care about getting out of the first round, second round, just like what you're saying. I'm here to win a championship. I got a comment on a Kings video yesterday, and it was like, I'm going in. Kings 100-1 to win the NBA Finals is too hard to pass up. So Nick and I threw a $100 bet on the Kings to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, dude, De'Aaron Fox. Did you see? I believe it was. It was after the Clippers, right, where he was giving a post game press conference, and he literally said, like, I don't give a bleep who's out there. Like, I'm gonna go and get mine. So Fox to me he's getting close to transforming into a superstar player. If he does this in the playoffs, we need to have a discussion about him.
Yeah.
And
I could see him
crazy.
having like a Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray. Remember that series, or just in the bubble when both of those cats were going off in the playoffs? Like, I could see De'Aaron Fox do that and average 30 in the playoffs.
Dude, the thing is, too, on my Knicks channel, when I first started making it, I made a couple of Fox videos before we got Brunson because we needed a point guard. We had like Alec Burks. And the number one guy on my list was De'Aaron Fox. There was just something about him where it was like, I need this guy on my team. And then this season, he goes out there and does this. So, yeah, good player, man.
However they end the season, I think it'll be, if I had to give a firm answer, I would probably go second round, because especially in the play-in right now, like you're looking at the Clippers, who are suffering, but you got Minnesota, Utah, Pelicans, the Lakers are around there as well. I think no matter who they play, they'll get out of the first round, because I think they'll creep up to 2. If they don't, currently they would play Dallas, which is never going to be easy, but that Domantas Sabonis in the paint De'Aaron Fox as well. They're just going to abuse Dallas in the paint. So I think they could get out no matter who they play in the first round, except for maybe Golden State, which they're looking safe from, because Golden State's trying to get into the top 4. But I think if I had to make a prediction, it would be the second round, which is still a great season. And I know Cyro and I were talking about this yesterday or the day before. It wouldn't be out of the realm if they were the Dallas Mavericks of last season and you make the Western Conference Finals, and maybe you even win the Western Conference Finals. Like, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but this team's got the charisma, they got the swagger, they have the coach, they have the players, they have everything they need. The whole city's backing them as well. It's really cool.
The only concern that I have for the Kings is they have no rim protection. So if they do go up against Dallas, like Luka and Kyrie, I'm terrified to see what they'd average in that series, because it would be straight shootouts. There'd be no defense in that series at all. So in the NBA playoffs, like that, I mean, I don't know, man. Like the Kings, if they had like Mitchell Robinson, like, oh my God, like they need someone interior that can, like, because Jalen Williams, the rookie for OKC, right? The good guy that they've got over there. So he was 8 of 14 when they played on shots that were inside of the 3-point line. It was like all just attacking the basket against the Kings. So teams, they're just going to look to exploit that. Like the Clippers, for example, I feel like Ty Lue could probably draw up something. So there is a weakness. Like the Kings aren't a perfect team, but 25th in defense. So that I do have concerns with them, but offensively, I mean, they can outscore anyone in the league. So I like them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, their rim protection is the big question mark. They're only averaging like 3 blocks a game, and you got guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. averaging that on the season. But when you're scoring 121 points, it's just a really good sign. With the Dallas thing, and it's kind of the same with Sacramento, but they're not going to cause many fouls. So Luka and Kyrie, the Kings are going to have to be physical. And one of the reasons I feel confident, but comfortable with the Kings in the defense not being like the end of the world is just because Mike Brown has the defensive coach background, and hopefully he can hide as many of their flaws as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's been great for them. They love him over there in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And coach of the year for sure, right?
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. All right. What you got?
So Pelicans, if you want to talk about them, we could do Knicks.
Yeah, what do you want?
So yeah, let's do Pelicans, man. Save the Knicks for the end, I guess. New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, you can't see this. All right, the Pelicans.
That's the Pelicans they've been lately without Zion.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. God bless you.
Dude, that was just a desperate win that they had against Portland the other night.
Man, they need
must win
right now. Oh,
yeah.
There we go. All right. What's gonna have to do? The New Orleans Pelicans, the team that was red hot to start off the season.
Unless you want to, if you go to ESPN, you could pull up like the Pelicans against the Blazers, right, and like show the box score maybe if you want to do that.
Yeah,
it's up to you. I don't know.
I can't tell you how many ESPN videos I've made, and like with the box score in the old days, and some shitty video would be playing in the background. And
oh yeah, that's annoying.
They'd be like, "Oh, I have to delete this video now." Yeah, so they come off a 4-game losing streak. Big game against the Dubs coming up here.
That's tonight, right? Or when is that?
I think it's tonight.
It might be
on a back-to-back though. Yeah, it is tonight in Golden State.
Oh, I can't wait for that game.
It's tough, dude. That's really tough. That's not what you want. Brandon Ingram. We talked a lot of Brandon Ingram yesterday because he's severely underrated in the league. But
oh my God, he had defensive stats? Yes, Ingram. 2 steals. He went like 7 or 8 straight games with no defensive stats.
Oh, jeez.
He just yes, man.
What do you like of? Did you like that Josh Richardson for Devontae Graham, basically?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, he can do a lot of things. When the Pelicans played against the Knicks a couple of games ago, Richardson, he had a stretch where, this game. Yeah, he had like he had a couple possessions straight where he was scoring, he was getting steals. He's just an active player. I think the Pelicans really needed that. And he's starting over Trey now because of his defense. So I do like it, man. I mean, is it like something that's gonna get them to the next round of the playoffs? Like probably not, but it was a good addition. So for sure.
I agree. All love to Devontae Graham. And Trey Murphy is still gonna play. I mean, he played 32 in that game against Portland. He's still gonna play. He's still gonna get his minutes. That was just a pretty bad game from Trey, although plus 16. Their whole bench was in the positives. That's good to see. I'm really big on Trey. I think off of the bench is going to be interesting. I think he's not bad on defense at all. Him and Richardson, he's like just kind of almost like a younger Richardson 3-and-D prototype. But how far? Well, first off, what are your thoughts on Zion? Obviously this team's struggling without Zion, but
I haven't heard anything about his return, if he's even coming back.
Yeah. So if he doesn't come back, what's the word?
Same thing as last season. They make the play-in, they advance, and they take whoever they play in the first round to 6-7 games.
Yeah.
Really hot take because they're been horrible lately, but I know what this team is capable of with Willie Green, and right now they're missing Zion, they're missing Lance, they're missing Valanciunas. So Ingram, in order for them to win that game, he had to score 40. They also were trapping Dame, and if you look at Dame, I think he had 41. So,
yeah, he did.
Yeah, so that's what when you double and trap Dame, he still gets 41. That's how damn good he is. So this was just a must-win game, and second half the Pelicans couldn't miss, and I'm glad they got the win, man, because I was getting really nervous here. Under 500, like you don't want to lose this game.
Mm-hmm. Two notes are, so the Pelicans aren't the best 3-point shooting team. So Josh Richardson he's a good 3-point shooter. So that's interesting. They're a team that can be really sloppy at times. And this 6 turnover number against Portland, and I know Portland's not a great defensive team, and they're missing Nurkic and Simons isn't really the defensive worry, but 6 turnovers is very important. They're going to have to play clean basketball to finish off this season, especially tonight against Golden State. Golden State is also probably more actually very turnover prone. They can be very sloppy at times. So if the Pelicans want to take down Golden State outside of Brandon Ingram getting his bag and CJ getting his, they're going to need to make their threes and not turn the ball over. And that's the blueprint for tonight. If Zion comes back, how far do you think this team could go?
Oh,
let's say Zion comes back for the last 10 games, which is
finals. If Zion's on the court, this team is not losing in the playoffs.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure. Pelicans they're good, man. It's just without Zion. I mean, we can't call Zion a superstar. We haven't really seen too much of him, but I mean, Zion I would say he's a top 10 player when he's not healthy. What he can do, I mean, giving you 25 a night, 10 boards, just unstoppable, basically, Zion. And we saw that when Zion was healthy at the beginning of the year, weren't they? They were the 1 seed. They were just chilling.
23-12, 18-8. Yeah, they were the team to beat. If they weren't the 1 seed, they were top 3, no doubt about it. Then Zion goes down. They lost. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they lost 10 straight games right before All-Star break. Or not right before, but leading up to the All-Star break into January, early February.
I think they're like 8-19 without Zion this year. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Some of them like that, but
yeah, that checks out. I mean, even for them, they got to start winning these games. Now, the good news is that win against Portland was huge because it gives them a buffer. They're technically tied with Utah at 31-32, but Utah's got the tiebreaker. So if the Pelicans could even go on a 5-game winning streak here, you will be either the 6th or 7th seed, but you can't lose like 4 or 5 straight. If you lose 4 or 5 straight, it might be the end. I mean, you got the Lakers right there knocking on the door now. The good news is for the Pelicans is LeBron James, his season's probably over. He's going to miss at least 10 games with the new evaluation of being out for 3 weeks. So he's missing at least 10 games, which is in the Pelicans' favor. And, Portland also dealing with a bunch of injuries, and Portland's just not really even having a good season.
So you're telling me that LeBron James might miss the playoffs for 2 straight seasons?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
I mean, we'll see. Anthony Davis is back now. You need Anthony Davis to be MV Davis. It's hard to bet on the Lakers at this point, but Utah is right there, and the Pelicans are right there, and if the Lakers can step up and win some games, I would say probably for both the Pelicans, the Jazz, the Lakers, the Blazers, I think whatever team is 500, if you're 500, I think you'll make the playoffs. They're playing, sorry. That's how close it is.
And which side of the trade do you like more? Do you like that Lakers who got that championship, or do you like the Pelicans who have the bright future?
I think you got to go with the championship. There are some great players on the Pelicans that the Lakers had to either give up or lose out on. But I think a championship I think it's worth it, as shitty as it sounds. I mean, I remember when we were in early days of high school, the Lakers were so bad. I mean, they were so bad, but it's a high market team, and someone will always go there. And if the draft lottery is rigged, if the draft's rigged, they'll always be getting nice players. So I think it was just something you had to do. Obviously the last couple of seasons aren't the way you want them to go. Injuries have really sucked, and the Lakers' future is certainly at risk here. I would say if the Lakers miss out on the playoffs, I think Anthony Davis will get traded.
Yeah, it's tough because the Lakers won that championship, and I don't know what is going to happen to them moving forward. Though it seems like they were desperate when they traded for us, clearly. So
yeah, they were very desperate. Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, the Pelicans haven't even been out of the first round, so I can't say that they won the trade. It's just, I mean, remember they lost Lonzo obviously, which he was a part of that trade. They miss him for sure. Ingram, I mean, I think Ingram's like an all-star caliber player.
Definitely.
They also drafted was it Jackson Hayes, who actually played fantastic in this game. Defensively, he's good too. But yeah, I mean, the Pels, they've got a lot of work with. I like Willie Green bringing him in, last season. But right now, it's just about health. It's not just Zion that's out. I mean, they're missing their entire front court basically is out right now. So I mean, yeah, Herb played center. Herb was playing finished the game as the center in that game. So against Portland, he's 6'7". So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens, man. West is wide open, so you never know.
Yeah, that is true. The NBA is pretty wide open. Let's see. All right. On to next.
Yeah, Knicks. Knicks is good to end it, or there's always Memphis. They're interesting.
Yeah. Can you guys see this? Oh, wait. Damn, there's only one person in there.
Oh yeah, I haven't even looked at any comments or who's in here.
Only 2 comments on the day. Thomas and Vento.
I mean, I'm just trying to kind of get my knowledge up and get used to this. So that's what it's about.
Yeah. So the New York Knicks are on a fat winning streak. What is that, 7 in a row now?
Yeah, that's 7 in a row. Josh Hart trade, of course. Knicks have, so since December 4th, the Knicks have the 4th best offense in the league and the 9th best defense. And legitimately, this Knicks team could come out of the East. Like, people will not admit to it. Some analysts are starting to get there and being like, okay, this Knicks team's actually really good. We don't have Giannis on this team, obviously. We don't have a Joel Embiid, but what we do have is whoever the 5 guys on the court at all times, they're defending. I mean, RJ Barrett is actually our worst defender statistically speaking. And as long as we can just try to figure out him, I mean, like, dude, Jalen Brunson and Randall, they're probably going to score at least 25 usually every single night a game. And yeah, I like this Knicks team a lot. I would say this is the best team we've had since 1999. Like, that's how good it is. And that team went to the finals, of course. Mitchell Robinson, his rim protection has just been unreal. You can see he only had 2 fouls in that game against Brooklyn. I feel like he'd have 5 fouls every single game. Like last season, he just could not stay out. And Quentin Grimes had 22. He was 6 of 9 from 3. His defense, people don't talk enough about Quentin Grimes. Ever since we put him to the starting lineup, that's when we started to really turn up. Coach Tibb, he went to that 9-man rotation.
Yeah.
And like everything is going great right now. I mean, there isn't a single player I dislike that's playing right now. I mean, it's just truly unreal how good this team is. I mean, Julius Randle's back to his old self. And Jalen Brunson wasn't an all-star, and I'm glad he wasn't, because ever since he wasn't named to the team, I mean, he's just been on a different level. 15 of 18. You guys have to realize that, Jalen Brunson early on in this game, it looked like he was coming out, man. He got hit. Somebody went to drive and he collided with them and then went down, and he was kind of limping around. And I was like, is Brunson going to come out of this game? And then look what he did, bro. Dropped 39 the rest of it. He had 30 at the first half. So I'm telling you guys right now, man, people can say that the Knicks are a first-round exit, but just make sure you're watching when the playoffs start, because this team is not a first-round exit. This is a championship-level team. And I'm telling you guys, they realized that last time they made the playoffs, they lost in the first round. Randall was pathetic. The team was pathetic, but they didn't have a point guard. They didn't have Jalen Brunson.
Who was their point guard starting that game? Alfred Payton, was it?
Yeah, Payton, and then they used a lot of Derrick Rose too.
Yeah, Derrick Rose was probably their best player in the playoffs that year. Appreciate you, LB, watching. Always appreciate. I think so. I will say I don't think New York's gonna make it to the championship. I don't think they're gonna win the championship. But what I will give you for sure is currently they're probably the second best team in the Eastern Conference, and they're knocking on Cleveland's door. You're about a game and a half out from them, so they could definitely get in there and have a home 7-game series. I would take New York currently over Cleveland and Philadelphia. I don't know. We still have a lot of basketball left, so who knows? Maybe by the end that'll change. I think one of the reasons I can't discredit you and the Knicks is because they're having a second half of the season right now, just like Boston did last year, and Boston made the NBA Finals. I guess Brunson isn't Tatum, but he's playing just as good, and Randall's playing just as good as Brown, so I can't put it past you. I don't think it'll happen, but I can't put it past you. Either way, Jalen Brunson, best Knick point guard in my life. So long term, they look great. They look great.
They have all their picks, which is something you can't say about the Knicks. They usually trade all of them for some type of star to turn this around.
Yeah.
They have the second most road wins in the league. So when they go on the road against these top teams, they'll be ready. They've been great at home lately, so I just like where the Knicks are. The one team that we're concerned with is Milwaukee. I think everyone's concerned with Milwaukee. But in terms of Boston, like, no fear whatsoever. I can speak confidently for every single Knicks fan as a fan of the team that no one fears Boston.
Wow.
Whether it's going into Boston in the playoffs, like, we don't care. I mean, we feel like we're better than them. And no Jaylen Brown, obviously, last time we played them, so we're not just ignoring that. But if we beat the Celtics next game, that's the first time in 10 years we've won the season series. 10 years. This is a different Knicks team, man. Yeah, I'm just happy about it. And Josh Hart, plus 30. Plus 30. Just ridiculous, man. Getting this guy at the trade deadline and winning 7 straight since. Yeah, unreal.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's going to be cool to see, one thing, kind of like our last 2 talking points, Sacramento and New York. I'm not saying Chris Middleton, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of these teams acquires a guy like Chris Middleton and just gets into that, all right, yeah, full regular season and the Knicks are a top 2 team or the Kings are a top 2 team. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to see what happens with RJ Barrett, but we'll deal with that when it comes. The way they're progressing, they're looking just fine. Maybe not necessarily RJ, but Jalen Brunson, stars. Jalen Brunson's a star. Can't really argue that at all at this point.
Yeah.
So,
and we weren't willing to give up RJ for Donovan Mitchell. And looking back on that saved the Knicks. And the reason why I say that, because they wanted 4 or 5 first-round picks. They wanted RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, maybe even Emmanuel Quickley. I mean, could you imagine if we gave all of that up for Mitchell?
Yeah.
Bro, no, we're literally chilling right now with all our picks, all our young players, all our depth. Randall and Brunson are a huge reason why we're sitting right now in the 5th seed, but a lot of that is also just the depth that we have, man. Starting Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley emerging into the 6-man category. He's the 3rd best defender on our team according to Raptor. Emmanuel Quickley couldn't really defend a fly last season, and all of a sudden he's playing elite defense. I mean, whenever Quickley's finishing games, I mean, I'm sure you've watched a ton of Knicks games this season or a decent amount. So you might, I don't know if you know, but Barrett doesn't close out games. He doesn't finish the games. He'll start, but Quickley will finish with a.
That's really tough. We'll see what they decide to do in the playoffs. I agree with you fully, though. Look at compared to Donovan Mitchell, if they gave up all those assets. Look at the Cavs and the Knicks right now. Which team has depth? Which team has Donovan Mitchell, but what team has depth? So,
yeah,
watch out for those Knicks.
Yeah, I can't wait for the playoffs, man.
I know.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go into Boston right now in the 2nd round. Dude, let's go.
When do we have we got the playoffs officially started? We got 20 or so games. I'm gonna guess 6 weeks. April 9th. Yeah, about 5 weeks away from the playoffs. 5-6 weeks. So.
There's still so much left, though. I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah. This is when teams like the Knicks, you guys are itching, you're excited. But then you got teams like Boston or Philly, and they're just man, we got we got a lot of flaws, or we're feeling pretty good. We're the Nuggets, we're the Celtics. We just want to get into the playoffs now, and these are the times where teams can really start getting seeding matters a lot. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean the 4th seed would be huge.
Yeah, fully. And imagine even if they get to the 3rd seed and Philadelphia just shits the bed or whatever, and then you don't have to deal with Milwaukee in the 2nd round. That's it's stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be huge. Honestly, being realistic, I don't think we can beat Milwaukee. I mean, that's a little bit crazy, but I do think we'd make it tough on them. And that's as a Knicks fan, to make it tough on the Milwaukee Bucks would certainly be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But hey, we don't, if we avoid Milwaukee, we don't have to beat Milwaukee, right? So someone could help us out.
Possibly. It's not looking great. You need a team like Philly or Cleveland to really step that up, but
yeah, and I don't know, man, but Is there like any other team you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm chilling. Gotta hit the gym. Nothing really to do today. Gotta not shit the bed on YouTube, so I'm excited to get back to work here. How about
Yeah, I
you?
saw. So I haven't seen your Lions video yet. I was on YouTube and I was like, oh, 10 hours ago you made a Lions video, and then you made a Niners video, a Kings video, right?
Well, the Niners video did so bad, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just. I think I'm gonna wait for news to drop and just start doing NBA. I think is what I'm leaning towards.
Hmm.
Because like the Kings, like that's kind of crazy.
I know. I'm probably gonna make a Kings video in the next 20 minutes.
But yeah, all right, man. It was cool.
Yeah,
Cyro
appreciate
next
you.
time. Yeah, next
Yeah,
time
appreciate you
Cyro.
coming
We
on.
we need him. We need Cyro here that when he's not in a vehicle.
Yeah, right.
All right, though, dude. I'll see you.
All right, I'll see you. Thank you, everybody. Oh, shoot, damn. Well, Swaggy, if you still see this, we gotta play Pirtle. I can't believe I forgot about Pirtle. And I hate playing Pirtle alone. I'm gonna go pray for Wemby. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Pretty chill, quiet show. I just kind of I don't think Jalen Brunson has thicker hair. Yeah. Did I like seriously hate playing this game alone? All right, we're gonna figure this one out. All right, we'll go. He's a young boy in the Central. Oh, is that Oh, what? Oh, Karis is older than 23. Oh, that's Isaac Okoro. All right, guys. That wasn't bad. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you live on Monday.